Blog Talk Radio.
Are you ready to take a bite out of the competition? Are you looking for ideas to make your business better? Welcome to the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet,
sponsored by Apple Capital Group.
At the core of every successful business, you'll find people making a difference. And with each episode of the Core Business Show, we talk with those people, examine those ideas, and explore the strategies that make them special. Now, the host of the Core Business Show, Tim Jacquet.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Core Business Show. I'm Tim Jacquet, your host. Today, my topic is how to adapt social media for your customer service. If you have a question, go ahead and post in the chat room, or you can call at 347-324-3460. How to adapt. Social media can be a blessing. It also can be a curse. And there's three things I'm going to talk about today that kind of you need to be aware of when you adapt this new medium to your marketing plan or into your business, incorporate into your business. And it's in a sensible way that you really need to take the proactive approach on how you actually put a social media type network in your customer service. You need to know why you're doing it. You need to know how you're doing it. Why you want the social media involvement. Well, we know there is some equity being paid out when you actually list yourself on Facebook and offer things. There's some equity when you tweet something out, a coupon. There's some equity even with your search engine marketing plan and your optimization. Then the search engines do look for all of these connections. And more connections and links that you have within the website makes you a little bit more credible, make you look like you're more interactive and responsible. But also know how to use it. Here's a perfect example, an article I picked up, and the article talked about customer service and how to adapt that to social media. Okay, so for example, here's a perfect example. A colleague really loves, for example, steak. And if he loves steak or pies or whatever, when he calls his places, he's listed as maybe the best customer. Okay, here's an example. Steakhouse, he calls, in his call ID, the computer recognizes when he calls and they answer him, "Welcome to such and such steakhouse. Thank you for calling, Mr. Such and Such." Think how that's going to make you feel important. The first time you say, "Oh my, what, they're monitoring him, Bill." You call on a regular basis and you get there on a regular basis. If you say, "My best customer, Mr. Williams," welcome, Mr. Williams, our best customer. Think how he's going to feel when he calls. He's going to call over and over again because he's going to feel like he's in royalty because you're calling him by name. You know who he is, and you're bookmarking all of his telephone numbers that he's calling in on, so you know that he's calling. So on that screen, what he loves to eat, when he's called, the computer recognizes his phone number. You know what he likes. You know what table he likes. You know what he likes to be called. The whole 9 yards about him, like he likes to eat. And then sometimes it keeps series of what they actually ordered last. And even down to the waiter can write in notes what he liked and what he didn't like. And that's all can be kept, and it can make a better experience for the waiter and better experience for the restaurant when they know what the customer likes. Think how he feels. Comes back home to wherever he's coming back from or go to another city, he can say, "Hey, I'm going to tweet to all my followers how I love this restaurant." Think you just actually made another marketing move here, and that's going to really take hold, and, you're marketing for free. We're going to come back in a moment. We're going to take a short break and be back in 30 seconds.
You're listening to the Core Business Show, sponsored by Apple Capital Group. Apple Capital Group in Jacksonville, Florida, is a commercial lender that specializes in asset-based loans, equipment leasing and financing, invoice financing, commercial real estate loans, and asset-based financing in the U.S. and Canada. Apple Capital Group is a direct lender that lends on their private equity investment portfolio. 90% of most loans are decided within 2 hours, and vendor funding within 24 hours after documents are completed with a one-page application. No slow no's, just a quick decision and a fast yes. To get more information about lending from Apple Capital Group, call 866-611-7457. That's 866-611-7457 to speak with one of our loan specialists. Or visit us right now at applecapitalgroup.com. Welcome back to the Core. Once again, here's Tim Jacquet.
Okay, that was for the perfect example real quick. So let me go deeper into my notes here. So you recognize the customer. He tweets about it. He writes on Facebook. He takes pictures of his favorite food. That's more marketing that you didn't really have to pay for. It's free. So if you give them a good experience, it'll work in your behalf. If you give them a bad experience, it'll work in your behalf. For example, I went to a restaurant in Atlanta. I can't wait to go back there because I had one little dessert, and I love desserts. It was sweet potato pie at Gladys Knight restaurant. I was downtown for a convention, and I walked all the way to the restaurant because it says only about 5 miles away. And we just walked from the hotel, my wife and I, to the restaurant, and I was across the street from this hospital, and walked in a nice restaurant. There was a celebrity there. Really wish I had a chance to get an interview, but I didn't even try. But anyway, I have on my Facebook wall a copy of the dessert that I had from that restaurant, from Gladys Knight Restaurant in Atlanta, Georgia, sweet potato cheesecake. Sweet potato, I never had that. I had pumpkin cheesecake, but I never had sweet potato cheesecake. And it's on my Facebook wall. And I'm advertising from them for free because I love their sweet potato cheesecake. So kind of think about that experience, that good experience. They were nice to me. They didn't call me by name, but they had something that spoke to my heart. I love desserts. And that's what they gave me. I got a dessert, and I posted on my wall for Facebook. So they get free advertising for that. So just think about that. That's equity you don't have to pay for, and a good reputation and a good service will go a long way. Okay, let me dive into 3 things that you need to be aware of. The actual process of using social media for customer service requires, number 1, engage the conversation. Number 2, monitor what is being said. And number 3, respond as soon as something happens. Number 1, engage the customer. You cannot have Facebook and Twitter if you don't engage the customer. We have experts that have come all over the country talking on our show for the past 6 months, talking about if you do this, you have to engage. You just can't put something out there for the sake of having it out there and be stagnant. You have to engage the customer. Give them coupons, give them reviews, let them write something. Put something on, even as a quote every single day. Put a free recipe up there. Put something at least several times a week that you're engaging the customer. Give them something, and you get something back. Give, okay? Give, get, okay? Put a recipe. You don't have to be your recipe. They're not really copyrighted recipes. But, even not, just go a personal bone. Say, hey, I'm trying this new recipe at my restaurant. Take a look at it and put it out there. If you come and try it, see what the difference is. They might can give you some more tips. Say, hey, do you think we need to add this or try this? Let them respond back to you. Offer a free meal or a free dessert for that, for the survey. Building part of the cost of doing business. So you have to engage the customer always. You can take polls. You can put quotes out there. And use Twitter, use Facebook, use LinkedIn. And more equity you have out there, there's good things to say about you, less it's going to hurt when something bad happens. Because bad things goes to the top of the search engines. Number 2, monitor what has been said. If you have an upset customer, address it right away. Address it within an hour or 2 so you can calm them down. Say, give me a call. Let's talk about this. Let me offer you a free meal or something like that. If you have a bad experience with a server, let me know. Comp the meal and give me not necessarily get rid of the server, get them training. If nothing works out, then you need to part ways. Monitor the good things and the bad things. Respond back to them. They say good things. Well, thank you for offering that. Thank you for saying that. Thank you. Because that helps your activity. Okay? So monitor what's being said and what's been posted on a regular basis. Maybe twice a day, maybe half during the day, and maybe in the evening or first thing in the morning. Monitor what's being said. So when you want to monitor what's on Yeps or Yellow Pages. You want to monitor what's on Twitter. You want to monitor what's on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, also opinions. You want to monitor these places to make sure you don't have bad things. And number 3, and lastly, respond to it as soon as something happened, like I mentioned. Survey shows that when someone is upset enough to post something negative online about your business, they nevertheless can not only be complacent, but actually they have a high likelihood of becoming your best customer because you can rectify that pretty quickly. And they say, oh, I hated you a moment ago, but hey, you reached out. You took the time to reach out to me. That says a lot. So just think about those things. Those are really great tips. Again, how to adapt social media in your customer service. You can put that in your telephone if you have like a restaurant. You can do that for your best customer in your own companies. With voice over IP services for telephones, it's easier to integrate those things now. When customers call you, you know who they are. You can put notes in, the salesperson can put notes in if it's a product or service or what they like and dislike. So those notes can be added and it can be on one file. Number one, again, engage the customer in conversation. Number two, monitor what's being said. And number three, respond as soon as you see something goes wrong. Anyway, everybody, thank you for listening to the program. You can download this episode on iTunes and Blog Talk Radio. We ask you to write reviews. Come on, and iTunes. Tell us what we're doing. What we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. We want to hear those reviews. Everybody have a great day. Thank you for listening to the Core Business Show. I'm Tim Jacquet, your host. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet. For more information about equipment financing and asset-based loans, visit our website, applecapitalgroup.com. That's applecapitalgroup.com. Or call us at 866-611-7457. We hope you'll join us for our next episode. And remember, you can always get to the core via iTunes. You'll find all our previous episodes there. And thanks again for listening to the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet.